last week, but we're back this week. We're going to bring up the feed. If you're watching it and it's not live, hit replay, type in replay so we can keep track of who watched live and who didn't. But let us get this brought up. We got questions, we got answers, we got other stuff we can talk about. There it is.
I don't know if we got answers or not, but
We got something.
yeah.
Oh. Let's see here.
Oh Lord.
What we gotta add?
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all are doing good. It's warming up in South Carolina, getting a little bit
There we go.
steamy. We got our tack shoot coming up in about 2 weeks. Kiwi Bowman this weekend. If you're local, go check out Kiwi Bowman. KiwiBowman.com's got all the information. If it don't rain us out Sunday, we're gonna try to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right. You ready to get into some questions?
Not really.
Chuck gets in and says, help me understand field tip diameter.
Well, Chuck, the 5/16 is your regular carbon sizes mostly.
Mm-hmm.
9/32 fits like an Axis or a Rampage or a
Spartan.
yeah.
A more, I ain't gonna say a micro diameter, but a smaller diameter arrow.
We don't really see them anymore, but the old 11/32 would fit like a big aluminum arrow. I guess you could still get 11/32 if you were to have like a insert in a like a big fat carbon shaft for target.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make the deep 6 size. It's just for the Easton deep 6 small diameter stuff. What am I missing? The thing you got to watch out for though is like when carbon shafts first kind of got more popular, a standard size, the 9/32 fit them, and then they started flaring the inserts out. So to fit that flared insert, you had started bumping up to the 5/16.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like an Easton Axis with a hidden insert, the 9/32 basically fits pretty dang flush with it. But if you get some of the different arrows that are still small diameter but have that flared insert, then it'll be a little small. So
Yep. Alan says, are red dot laser sights still being made?
I don't really know. I remember in the late 90s, laser sights were big, like that actually puts a red dot out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know AMS or somebody makes the green dot for bow fishing.
Yep.
About 5 years ago, a guy was really wanting a laser sight like that. And I went on, I think eBay or Amazon, and they had something you could kind of rig up, but there wasn't, at that time, there was no like specific bow sight that was a red dot laser. If anybody knows anything different, put it in the comments. But
I know Burris on the Oracle, they make on that big sight with the rangefinder, they've actually got a laser that comes with it that's got a little slot that you slide it in, but
ain't that for sighting it in or something? I can't remember.
You can leave it in and use it too. If I remember right, I could be wrong.
Let's see here. My feed, I did something here. Okay, we good.
Larry's asked, can I drill out my peak to a larger size?
Probably. If it's an aluminum peep, you can. But my suggestion is definitely get that thing out of the bow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, just do it with your fingers. You know what I mean? Take the drill bit and twist it back and forth. I had some people back in the day bring in bows. They tried to run a drill bit through it with a drill in the bow. And what'll happen is it'll catch and the people twist and it'll basically blow up. What's up, Doug? It'll blow your bow. It'll break the string. So take the peep out of the bow. I mean, you can drill it. You don't really want to clamp it in anything because then it'll put like a sharp egg. You know, it could create a burr. So I mean, you can drill it, but I like to just, I hadn't done that in a long time, but I would just take my fingers and it takes a few minutes, but slowly get through it. And then it may put like a silver halo where you did it, so maybe take a black marker and get it. But most aluminum peeps you can drill them out.
Yeah. Let's see. Jared says, is it better to anchor on the jaw or the ear?
I don't know that one's better than the other as
Yeah.
long as it's repeatable. I'm more of a jaw guy, but I know a lot of people that are somewhere up higher or near their ear. I guess that's according to what release you use and all that, but as long as it's good and repeatable. Let's see here. There's a company that makes a red dot scope for bows also. I've seen the red dot scopes. I think he's talking about like an actual laser beam, you know what I mean? It's actually in the shop somewhere. They used to make an adjustable sight that had a laser mounted on it, so you could set it 20, 25, 30. This was like 95, and you could crank that thing down and, you know, it puts a laser on the deer and you zap them.
What was the sight, the red dot, you know, kind of like you see on most guns now?
EOTech maybe?
Well, I can't remember.
I remember in Bucks and Bass days, they were like $300, which was a lot of money then, but we sold probably half a dozen to a dozen of them. But it was like you say, it was a red dot setup. You know what I mean? You lined up like two crosshairs and it
And I remember, what was the one that guy, he bought the Matthews and he had it. It's a big sight company out there now. It ain't, I'm gonna have to do some digging because that was gonna bug me because I remember that it was an actual sight that looked like you could take it off the mount and put it straight on a shotgun or a rifle. Yeah. I can't remember that one. Anyway, back to our questions. Zeke, do I need a stabilizer or is that a preference accessory? It's kind of a preference thing now. A lot of times people don't, with the bows nowadays, they really don't run one on a hunting bow. I mean, if you do run one, you know, you go like a 6-inch, but if you run in a tournament rig, then, you know, if you're gonna run long bars or something, yeah, you probably want to run them, but, you know.
Yeah, I'd say about a quarter of the bows we sell, people they don't, you know, it's hunting bows, but they don't care nothing about a stabilizer, but it's just preference.
Carl gets in and says, best way to travel with my bow, case, seat holder, or back seat? It all depends on where you know what you're gonna be. If you're gonna throw it in the back of the truck, put it in a hard case. I got to where now I soft case mine, but like going hunting or whatnot, I normally just put it in the front seat or behind the seat, just keep everything away from sharp objects.
I guess it's according to what you're traveling in.
Yeah.
Like if it's just me, a lot of times I will throw it in the back seat. But local stuff, that's easy. And then we got a few people, we usually case them up and throw them in the back of the truck. But long as it's not banging on anything potentially sharp in the back seat, go for it. Yep. But I mean, if you like going somewhere overnight, I mean, I guess it's common sense. Don't leave it in the car or somebody will steal it and all that stuff.
Yeah. But at worst case scenario, a soft case.
Yeah.
You know, a soft case, you can throw it in the back seat, front seat, and you'll be good to go. And Heath gets in and says, best way to ship my bow.
It's changed a little bit, but as far as packaging it, I would just go try to get a bow box from a bow shop. That's just the easiest thing. I mean, you can make a box. I've seen, we got one, a guy shipped in there now. What is that, a TV box? It's some big old box. But the bigger the box, you know, of course, the more you're going to pay. And then, I mean, like when they ship new bows to us, basically all they're in is a plastic bag that fits over the whole bow, and they're in a box, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I like to sometimes try to bubble wrap them pretty good, but I would try to get a bow box. And then it used to be that the post office was a little cheaper, but lately what I'm seeing is UPS is cheaper, and I guess that's according to where you're shipping to. But just an example of something recent, we shipped a bow fishing rig to a guy we know in Vermont a couple days ago, and UPS was cheaper. What was it? It was like $30, and that was with insurance. And I think the post office was like $3 or $4 more. I don't trust the post office as much, but knock on wood, I don't think we've seen any bows get lost or damaged from either one. So just see which one's cheaper. I mean, I've shipped bows out to the West Coast from here on the East Coast, and it's cost, $50-$60. And I've shipped them the Midwest and sort of the East Coast. Usually don't run but about 20 a couple. So, but yeah, just package it up good in the smallest box possible. And if you like long ATA bows, what would be wrong? Nothing at all. I know a guy that shot a deer last year before with his Hoyt in Invicta or whatever. I mean, a big old bow. You know what I mean? And I guess, like, to me, a 38 or 40-inch bow is still not a long bow, but we came from when that was like more standard stuff. You know what I mean? Now you mention that to most people, and they're like, "What?" But
yeah,
they want a 27 or a 30 or whatever. But no, there wouldn't be any problem at all.
Just the biggest thing, if you hunt out of a lock-on, climber, ladder stand, or anything, just take your bow, get up in it, draw it back, and kind of look and see where your points are going to be. That where you may come in contact with a like an arm or the actual stand. That way, when you do release it on the deer, you don't catch the stand and blow her up.
Yeah. I hadn't videoed anything, but I got my strings on my inline 5 that I'm gonna take the tack. I gotta hopefully tomorrow or Saturday finish setting it up, and if we get to shoot kiwi, I'm probably gonna take it if it don't rain on us. But maybe next Thursday or something we can go live like we did last year. We'll go out there with them and shoot them or whatever. But I got that done. It ain't been like slow, but it's spring break week. Kind of died at the shop, and then it picked back up a little bit, but it's still kind of steady or whatever the word is. So we're trying to get stuff done. But what else has happened? I don't think too much has happened. What do y'all think about? Do y'all watch the ASA shoot-offs on Lancaster and all that? I didn't watch the whole thing, but the part I did watch, there was like several arrows that I would have called the reverse of what they did. Like there was one to me that was obvious. I think it was Chris Perkins. It was obviously out of the 14. Like I could see meat between. It did distort the line, but their own rules say must touch the line, not distort. And I know that's a whole can of worms, but it just tears my nerves up because you can look right there and see there's obviously a piece of meat between the arrow and that it's a thick line, I know, but anyway, I thought they made some weird calls, and I feel like really they have ever since Cam has covered it and really zoomed in on what they got going on. So I was just wondering if y'all seen that too.
Well, I think the only way that me and you was talking about this yesterday or one day this week, the only way that they're going to resolve all that is instead of touching the line, it needs to cut the line. So, if it don't cut it, you out.
It's crazy. And like we were talking about the day, me and TJ were talking about it, there's probably hundreds of arrows, if you go by the way they scored some of that we should have called in over the years of our own that we called out, because you can see that sliver of. And what was crazy to me, whichever one I was watching there, a little bit later, another guy basically was the same distance out of the whatever ring it was at the time, and they called his out. And I'm like, that's the same. I think even the announcers were sort of confused, and I know they don't want to like crack on the company that's maybe giving them a few bucks to do the announcing, but like you got to be at least consistent.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they have. What's up, Brad? So I really thought when Cam first started covering it, and I don't remember who it was, but there was a big dispute over they called it in or out and it wasn't or whatever. I thought, well, they'll make them back up with a camera or something, but they hadn't.
No.
I don't know. I just don't feel like there's consistency, and like I say, even the announcers, if you watch that portion of it, are kind of like, and then they were like, well, yeah, we're not standing there, or whatever, but
What's up,
stand the
Stanley?
man. What's up, Stanley?
But I just think really like I said, the only way to make that clear cut is you have to cut the line. So it can't pull it, it can't distort it. I mean, it can't. It's got to cut.
Yeah. I don't know. And I also mentioned
Smaller,
like make whoever McKenzie or whoever not make the line so wide, because it is a pretty wide line, And I mean, there are times I feel like you do pull the line over and you do touch the very outside of it. I mean, it's more rare than you would think, but this particular one, like you could obviously see meat in between it. And when he held up the 14 or whatever, I was like, and I remember I think the announcer even said that even Chris Perkins was astonished or something like that.
They called it in.
I don't know. And then you get into the I ain't a conspiracy guy on it, but do any of the big brands maybe flash a little money and say, hey, if it's close, we'll help you out? I mean, they probably don't, but what if they did? And you never know. So
there's no telling.
I don't know. I don't know.
But what?
Can't think of what else.
Next ASA ain't till June, I think, is what I seen on the schedule.
Good old June.
Yep.
Really, it's been kind of boring lately. If you need, we got Spot Hog in, but I think that was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I seen Chuck Adams had switched too, and it kind of surprised me. But I don't know if it's just him. Somebody's shooting the Alaskan, because we had ordered several of them, but like it's the bow so far this year that people are coming in like directly asking for it. Y'all got the Alaskan, and we do have them, and it seems to be a good bow. But last year the Hunting Public boys were shooting they were shooting a bunch of them, but was it the Divergent? There was one that people were like, finally I was like, where are y'all hearing about this bow at? And they were all hearing about it from the Hunting Public. No left-handed Epsilons. We've been trying to get an Epsilon since they came out, and still hadn't got the first one in. Hopefully sooner than later, but no Epsilon.
I know one of the boys on the Hunting Public is shooting the Alaskan.
Okay, Brad said Hunting Public does.
What's up, Perry?
What's up, Jeff? But it's crazy. I guess the Hunting Public thing was like one of the first times we were like, there's enough people watching them, and like directly walking into our shop saying, I want this, this, and this. And finally we started, where'd you read about this or whatever? No, we seen it on the Hunting Public.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good. But the variance being on, there's a lot more.
That Alaskan bow is a good bow. If I hadn't already had my Prime on order, I would have probably shot it, because it is a good shooting little bow, and I really do like it.
I agree, Anthony. Because they are zoomed in on those arrows good. You know what I mean? And the judges or whatever, they're,
Well, and I kept hearing, because Darren wasn't there this time. I can't remember.
Nathan Brooks.
Yeah. Was it PJ or Nathan Brooks? One of them said that what they see on TV, because they had the TV monitor too, but he said what the judges see and what we see on TV is two different things.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I don't know about that, because I'm looking at the same thing they are, pretty much.
I mean, we could get up like a GoFundMe for some glasses. But no, I don't know. I just think, personally, I think if they keep sort of calling something different than it looks on the screen, I don't know what they could change or what they could do, but I think some people are going to start questioning a lot of stuff or getting crazy about it.
Well, and then it's just, a lot of guys that go to ASA, they shoot all their local stuff. I hate to say it, it's just like somebody, like those pro shooters are a lot of people look up to them. So if they see those judges start calling a marginal error, well then guess what's going to happen? They're going to start calling them errors on the range at their local shoots. And I mean, we've dealt with it before, like, hey, that error's out, and just people want to argue with you, and it's clearly out.
Yeah.
But you just, instead of having to bring somebody from the clubhouse down to take a look and be a judge on it, it's not worth the time and the headache.
I won't mention any names because someone here will know him, but there's one guy in particular, and I mean we've had people come in. Well, when we used to have more shoots here at the shop, people would even come in complaining and being like, we all thought he was out. He was arguing so much, we just gave it to him. You know what I mean? And I shot with this guy one time at a couple local shoots, and they wasn't kidding. I mean, that joker, he was obviously out. By just a little bit.
Yeah.
But he would argue he didn't care, and it was like, dude. So I quit shooting with him just because I was tired. I can't deal with all that. You know what I mean? But I know there's a few people out there like that, but I don't know. I
mean, it's been a lot of time.
He said 3D is supposed to be fun. That's what, briefly, well, me and TJ both really got out of it after our Bucks and Bass days for a couple of years, and that was one of the reasons, like, it's just some places, it's just so much politics and drama and...
Well, and plus, you had to beat a pencil.
Yeah.
We
had a guy, I won't tell any stories about other places, but we had a guy that used to come out here, and he shot like 2 times and turned in, a big score.
Yeah.
So finally, and of course everybody's talking and saying, I don't know, because it was awkward because he'd always show up, he'd always shoot with his buddies, and then nobody could really see what was going on. So I shot with him, and his score dropped by like 30 points, you know what I mean? So I was like, obviously, this is whatever. So from then on, I made sure somebody was with him, but it's so awkward, you know what I mean? Like a guy comes in, and you're trying to put somebody with him so he don't cheat, and he cheats, and what do you do? But I don't know. Back it up 10, even 20 years, I know people that would turn in all these scores, and then we'd shoot with them or whatever. And I know you can have a bad day, but anytime you put somebody with a shooter and they always shoot bad with somebody, but great by themselves, I just don't buy it after it happens a few times.
Yeah, they just a couple of years ago, a guy did the same thing around here. He shot by himself or whatnot, turned in a heck of a score, and all of a sudden shot with a couple other people, and it was a drastically different score.
It is. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it except mix the groups up. But a lot of people want to shoot with their buddies, and so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Anytime we've ever had like a money shoot here, we do mix them up, and usually we're out there we'll be videoing or whatever, but we're paying attention to what's going on.
And that's just the thing. Why would you want to cheat at a fun shoot?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, y'all definitely shot with cheater before. It sucks. Yeah. Elite Embark Jordan. I was seeing another above mine. Heck yeah, send it on. Send her on. But yeah, I don't know. There's people out there, I guess. We see some of the same at Kiwi. Have to put our shooters on and get their score dropped. Yeah, I guess there's those people. The funniest, I call it the funniest one. The funniest one that I can think of though is, it wasn't at Kiwi and it wasn't here, but some of our traditional people that come around all of a sudden had a new guy pop up that was shooting these good scores. So basically it was an every week thing, and we said something to somebody, and I don't know, it was like, I don't know what the answer is. Anytime we've ever had like a money shoot here, we do mix them up, but some of our traditional people that come around all of a sudden had a new guy pop up that was shooting these good scores. So basically it was an every week thing, and we said something to somebody, and I don't know, did they put somebody with him? I don't remember, but he went from shooting like a 2 something with a recurve to like an 80, you know what I mean, like that when they put somebody with him, and we were like, oh God.
I mean, this is how bad. I mean, this is how he was almost shooting known 40 scores with recurve. I mean, not like the first, second, third place, but I mean, you know, top 15, 5 to 15 scorer, and we're like, okay, either he's really good, and we have a local guy that is really good. He shot recurve all his life, and when he was beating him by a good bit, we were like, all our recurve people were like, okay, something.
Well, and like if somebody shoots real good, we either usually we know them or know about them or have talked to them or whatever, and usually when these flyers, random people pop up, it's like, so I don't know.
What's a good entry level crossbow? What's that one we got in there that's a bear?
The new there's a new bear. Let me just go look because I
can't remember. Is it Trek?
We hadn't had it long.
I think it's the Trek. I mean, some of the bear stuff's good. Centerpoint makes some good entry level stuff. The Conflict 405. I can't remember what the price is on that one.
$350, I think.
I think it's $350. We think. Like I said, your center points, those are good. You're gonna be in them roughly, $350, same price. So
I would say the number one seller, and we don't even sell them, but we see a ton of them come through. I think like Cabela's and Bass Pro sell a bunch of them. Is the center point. What was the base model? And now there's about 20 of them. It's the same one.
It was the Sniper 370.
Then they come out with like the Sniper Elite. I don't even know what the differences are, but it's the exact same head of the crossbow. But you can get them for $350. PSC makes a couple decent ones, and then Barnett. Just be careful with Barnett because they're a big company. But that's probably what we see the most come in with trouble is the Barnett stuff.
We can do X99 in natural. And Stan, I have not got a saddle yet. The one I'm wanting, they are out of stock. So I'm hoping they get them in stock soon.
Or was Muddy Ducks. You should have your strings here in the next day or two. I would think. That pink and purple look great. Just kidding.
Was it pink and purple?
No.
Or was it?
It was
electric blue.
Electric blue and
flow yellow.
Yellow, I think. I think Bobby served them, so hopefully they don't blow up.
Yeah.
Just kidding. If you're watching Bobby. But no, they look good. We need to invent a tie-dyed string. What if we made a natural set and then tie-dyed it? We'd be the first, industry's first. Maybe not.
If we do tie-dye, we're going to have to do the unicorn bow like Bear did on April Fool's that day.
But I don't know if y'all seen it. Bear put out like a fake thing. It was this multicolored unicorn bow, and like 2 or 3 people called wanting to know if we had them or could order them. I mean, because they really thought it was legit. So I don't know. But anyway, we'll I guess get off here. And like I say, next week or in the next 2 weeks when we get on here, we might try to show y'all our tack bows we've set up to go to that and
do like a gear rundown or something.
Yeah, if you're local, check out Kiwi Bowman this weekend. They got a good shoot going on Saturday, Sunday. KiwiBowman.com will get you all the info for that. We're planning to be there Sunday morning if it's not raining. And that's about it.
Yeah.
So if you got any questions, throw them down in the comments. We'll get to them next time around. What else? I guess that's it. Call us if you need us.
Yep.
And we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. We got, about 20 people on here now?
Yeah.
So that's really good.
It is.
Y'all have a good evening.
Take it easy.
Over and out.